What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Golden Dice deck tech video. Hopefully you caught yesterday's with Kira Command, and today we're staying in Command, but we're going with my favorite smuggler on solo. So this is a new young one. If you haven't seen him yet, he has an action, exhaust him, play a unit from your hand, it costs 1 less, deal 2 damage from to it. He comes out at 5 as a 3/6, and he has an action. Same thing, but you can do it as many times as you are able to on the slip side. 3/6 certainly isn't bad at all for coming out at 5. Not the most overstated thing. As the memes go, not Boba, but for what his ability can do, like ramping on a stick type thing, is going to be very good. I'm very excited for him. Him and Kira are like my two favorite leaders right now. Ray is a lot of fun as well. But what I'm interested in is actually different from where I started out with Han. And where I originally was with Han was in yellow and just doing like a gunslinger, go fast, play Poe and Wrecker early for like closers and just be an aggro deck. But now I actually am looking at him and wanting to try ramping. And so there's a few different ramps now at this point. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add all of the... oh, why is it not working for me? Of course. Sometimes that old little refresh will do it. But I'm trying to ramp to go fast to get to Home 1 and Crate Dragon faster than other decks can. So with his ability and 1 ramp card, those can come out 2 turns earlier than normal. I go back and forth currently. It's starting out on ECL. ECL is amazing. We all know that. There's no complaints for me about that. But my only concern is that if I am trying to go, oh my gosh, if I am trying to go late, then this makes me a little bit nervous. So go ahead and add those, and there is the new ramp target on your head, I believe it is. Nah, not guild target, bounty on your head. It's the 2 cost, whatever one. It's it's somewhere in there. But I was gonna bring it up, but I'm not like super excited to play it. I don't think it makes the cut. It feels a little too slow. Price on your head is what I was thinking. Attach unit gains bounty. Let me zoom in again, especially as we're building. Put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. Not super excited for that. Again, just feels too slow. We're probably not running the removal that like Villain has to reliably get that off. But like I said, I want to ramp to Crate Dragon. I want to ramp to Home 1. And another early target would be the Walker. Reinforcement Walker. And so, to me, this is at least the starting point of the deck, right? This is kind of where I want to be, and from here we can go and add some of the good cards that we all know and love. And as I took a similar approach to Kira, I want to add set 1 cards that I know are good and then try to build off of them with set 2. And if the set 1 cards have to go, that's fine, but it at least gives me an idea for what's good. And the tried and true turn 1 plays, we got Battlefield Marine, Sabine Wren, and a Green Squadron A-Wing. And his ability is weird in that a sense of, yes, I could cheat out a 3-drop, but then that 3-drop probably just dies. You know, I'm thinking, you know, even if it's a 3/5, it's now a 3/3, and if my opponent just straight up played a Battlefield Marine or something like that, it just will die. So, like, I played a higher cost card for nothing, but that option is at least there, which makes me feel like I can stay at 9, and these things are just really, really good. Now, I do want to check the bottom of the list to make sure that I'm not missing any big drops that I would prefer. So, yeah, of the 4 most expensive, I guess 5 if you include this, cards, we are at 8 of them. Not interested in Endless Legions at all, obviously. We're not double green. The Assault Cruiser is interesting. Ambush is nice, but also if they're not going space, then the ambush is less relevant. And late game, there's really not a lot. Once you get past 8, there is on Villain, but this won't really kill or deal with any of them. Ewing seems amazing. 3 of. We've always loved them. Scrolling up. Wrecker is on play will be interesting. We don't really want to deramp when we're trying to hit crate and stuff, but he's such a good card that even just playing him at 6 7 6 might be interesting. I'm going to slap a 1-of for General Riken for now. Interested in where he kind of lands up, but I mean 5/7 at 6 and can give out Sentinel and experience tokens to any Sentinels that we might have. I don't know that we'll really end up with that many Sentinels in the deck, but I feel like he can make some interesting plays. Poe Dameron, arguably best card in the set. Definitely going to add him. Don't think we need IG-11. Don't want to jam up that 5-drop too much. Same thing with the Patrol Wing. Don't think it makes the cut. Wookiees wish you were better. Don't really need the Darksaber. K2SO, tried and true. We know him. And where's so Bright Hope? Definitely want to have in. Wing Leader and Fleet Lieutenants are a little weird in this one. We are very likely going to have several. We could go Red 3. I mean, all of our 3 drops at this point are Rebels, so there could be an argument for that. But they just don't necessarily feel like they deserve a spot right now. And I feel like I want to try Cassian and the... I didn't even click on them. The Sundari Peacekeepers before I try anything else. The 5 health, so it does, turn that into a 1/3 raid 3 or raid 2 with restore 2. Again, not amazing, but at least it kind of piques my interest. And so now what I'm actually interested at is we've got 6 ramp, we've got 8 space, we've got 27 ground units. That all kind of feels pretty good. I don't think I'm missing anything that's big. I mean, maybe we, again, don't want 3 records, but I feel like we start there and go from that. Oh, the other thing, yeah, Spark of Hope is that I'm interested in is how many units can we destroy with Han to ramp turn 1? So the ability would go off, right? You are only looking at 1 drops because then you could do it for free. And then you can Spark of Hope turn 1. And what I'm really looking to do is do smuggle with it. So that's kind of the high priority for me. Dies to Han, and I can smuggle it. So it's not like a totally gone card. It's now my resource, and I can play it later. And I think only Reckless will go there. But it's at least interesting. So if you're not as concerned about the smuggle, you can definitely shy away from it because there are other things that I do want to try, but I think I will start there. Dispatcher, I don't think you need the ramp. Bail Organa is interesting, but feels too slow. Even if you do that and then hit him off a U-Wing later, doesn't feel the most amazing. Benthic, we have a decent amount of red in here where it makes it interesting. Sabine, Cassian, K2, Poe, Wrecker, Crate Dragon, A-Wing, all work. Han works as well. So there's definitely some stuff there. We have no bounty hunters, so moving on. 3 health, too much. 3 health, too much. 4 health, too much. Maz Kanata, actually kind of interesting. Ripping her off a U-Wing and playing her first and playing 2 more cards, like a 3 and a 3. Definitely has my interest. And her coming out as a 3/3 for 1, I think has some value there. And I think she'd be the next card that I try. But like I said, I am going for the smuggle, which really just leaves us with the Reckless Gunslinger. And I don't think this is like an amazing kind of be-all, end-all play of doing that turn 1, but it's certainly fine. There's certainly no, not a big concern for me about that. It does feel like adding 2 more of that, going up to 29, kind of feels like I'm doing a lot, but it does lean into his ability. And then even trying to think of what else do we want in here. So since we are on ECL, I'm okay not having timely intervention right now, and also it doesn't super synergize if you're using Han's ability a lot. So we're not super concerned about that. Some of the other stuff I want to check in the events. Just having some type of removal. Daring Raid is interesting, but it's a shield. And sometimes, you're picking off a shield, doing 2 base, maybe not amazing. If we see a rise of, 2 health units in the beginning, could be interesting to play a 2-drop you know, play Battlefield Marine and then do a daring raid. And so it's a 3-1, and then you kill their X2 or whatever, but don't, like, super love it. But we really don't have a lot of, like, removal. Carabass is definitely an interesting one because this will very likely be turned on a lot. The issue is, you know, is your stuff going to die before you get the chance to actually use Carabass? But to me, it feels like worth trying. And then I think I want to try Open Fire. I want to try it. It's definitely gone down in usefulness. You know, before you could do 4 damage to every 3 drop except Boba and kill it, pretty much. I think it's at 1. But now we're seeing a lot more 3/5s. We're seeing some more health, and that's definitely going to be a concern. But 4 still hits like a good amount of these units. Even there's some 4 drops, like I think it's Forlom. That's the 4/4/4 ambush. You know, ambush is going to get him. It's definitely going to be able to trade with, you know, some other units that you're concerned about. But I don't love it. It's just kind of like removal. And quite frankly, since I'm going so late, there probably is an argument to like have more potential removal. Carabass is a little bit too conditional. I could see just going to Daring Raid or, you know, some of the other things that you could add within this deck. Even some of the removal for this is just a little weird. I don't think Rule with Respect is going to be that good. Bombing Run is a little too janky. I mean, the Strike True, again, requires you to have something on the board. All right, I mean, we're at 50, and this is kind of where I'm interested at being. A little light on space, so maybe you could go back and think of some stuff to change out. Again, maybe record, maybe record goes to 2, and you can make sure you have a 3rd Bright Hope. You know, stuff like that where, you know, you're not jumbled up on the 6 drops, and maybe Riken just isn't that good. You take him, you go back to 3 Wrecker. And then even these 8 drops, maybe, and the Crate Dragon, you know, maybe you bring the Crate Dragon down to 2 just because you could just have a hand where if you have a Crate Dragon at home 1 early, like, you know, you're not going to be able to play a lot of stuff, or you're making some too basic plays on your turn. But the rest of this feels good. I mean, yes, it's technically turn 1 play, but obviously you're looking to really do like a Battlefield Marine, Sabine, Green Squadron, and if you can, and they're the only thing you have, you know, you can play Sundari, you can play Cassian on that. So you definitely have some options for turn 1. And again, the Reckless Gunslinger into Spark of Hope, right? Spark of Hope, choose a unit in your discard pile. If it was defeated this phase, put it into play as a resource. So turn 1, boom, this thing dies because it's a 2/1 with Han's ability. It's in your discard pile. You now put it into play as a resource. It's a smuggle, so in a pinch later, if you need to play this for 3, you can play it. And yeah, that's the play of it. As I said, you can go back and look at some of the other ground units and kind of go from there. But some of this is just, this is set 1 early plays that have been good and are good. K2SO consistently been a contender in pretty much every red deck. And then you're adding in Poe and Wrecker, who are 2 of the better cards revealed. Walker just helps stabilize. Crate and Home 1 are kind of your finishers, right? They're the main 2 that we're looking for. Walker's just kind of a bonus if you can get there. And Han's ability on all of them is going to be fine. You're not worried about playing a 6/7. You're not worried about playing a 10/8. Not worried about a 7/5. Just them coming out so early is probably just going to give you such a big advantage. And Home 1 being able to hit a good amount of stuff of Sundari, Cassian, Sabine, Marine, and Reckless Gunslinger are all pretty good hits for you. And like I said, with Riken, maybe we go and we play and the Peacekeepers don't really cut it. Maybe we do swap to the Echo Base and, you know, have Riken being able to at least be something in there to give experience. And the nice part is he can just continually choose himself, and 7 health at 6 is pretty beefy. I think at 6, nothing else directly trades with him, even if they ECL. Well, Poe, actually, Poe would be the one that does that. But other ones I'm thinking, you know, IG-8 is a 6/5. I guess the Forlom Zuckus combo would snipe him. But, you know, he certainly is interesting and feels like he's a little slept on. I don't think he's like the best thing in the world, but he does interest me a lot. And maybe because he's Rebel too, we do go and bring in maybe fleets or wing leaders. We look at those options with 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 16, 1922 Rebels. Right, home one, you care a little bit less about being Rebel, but your early plays with fleets and wings definitely could matter. But them not working on Han Solo is a little sad. So we'll save and then look at the deck list, just kind of blown up. No sideboard for this one because I'm really just trying to figure out where you even want to land. Do you want to land more aggro? Is cheating out the crate? Like, do you want to go all in on control and cut some of that stuff? But this is where I'm landing. The Bright Hope is interesting because then if you do have to play a Reckless Gunslinger, like, it's not an amazing card, but that can bounce it back to hand, let you draw a card, stuff like that. So that's kind of where my mind is for that. But you certainly, those cuttable cards, those ones on the edge are, you know, if you don't want to go all in on the turn 1 ramp, you can take out the Gunslinger. You know, Bright Hope, you could have something a little more useful. Peacekeeper maybe is a little bit too slow, but I just do like the Restore in a deck that is trying to go a little bit longer. And then Riken again for that Sentinel, buying you another turn. And then you just, yeah, Poe, Wrecker, Ewing, Home One, Walker, Crate Dragon, all really good cards that can, if you can get there, can win you the game. And then try out the removal package. Try out Open Fire, try out Carabas, try out Daring Raid. Kind of see where you like, because you probably, if you are trying to get to the end game, you probably will want some of those cards in your deck so you can deal with that. But yeah, as always, appreciate your feedback. If you play the deck, feedback on that. Just on the general layout of the video, if you like going through the thoughts, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, wonders, dreams, aspirations, would love to hear all of them. And appreciate you tuning in, and we will catch you next time.